Hello, friends. Welcome to Liquidity Narrative. So, this is our weekly liquidity map. In those week briefing, we'll always identify the key liquidity levels we are watching, what the structure is for us, and then remember the objective of this is not about prediction. We're not trying to predict price. No, we're not trying to predict the closing of the candles, but just identifying the areas where liquidity sits and what price is likely or where price is likely to deliver to, then watch price action at those levels to see exactly what the price action will be before we take our trade. So as always, let's start with our Nasdaq. As we always watch, what's are we looking at? What's our narrative on Nasdaq as of Friday? We can see there was a huge drop on Nasdaq, and then we've created at least um, and old highs and old low and a range in the daily time frame, and also probably we might also get a range in the weekly time frame. But before then, we just have to keep Nasdaq narrative simple, using mostly the lower time frame until we've gotten a clear range, even though we've marked a daily range on the weekly, looking at this as the highs and looking at this as the low within our weekly daily range, which we never had for the past how many weeks. So looking at this daily range, the question is, where is price apparently at this moment? Which is a very simple and clear one. Price is apparently at the premier zone, but price is looking out or drawing to something within our daily range. We've seen that we mapped out this level as the area price might should have been acted as a support, which the price broke through. So this area can also act as a resistance in the future, which is a gap on the weekly time frame. So if we drop on a daily time frame, just trying to take it bit by bit, where are the places we are watching price or the areas we are looking as liquidity sits, where liquidity resides in this particular daily chart? Our expectation is to see price being drawn to this old low on the daily time frame, and if price continue to fill this gap, to let this gap act as a support. But whenever, then how to use this as price run into those levels, we want to see a reaction, at least a pullback to those from those levels. And if price continue to go down, we watch price at this level to give us a price action, whether it's maybe will act as a support for a pullback. And if price continues, the next row on liquidity would be this weekly gap. Yes, this is a gap in the weekly time frame. So we watch those areas to add as a support in our chart to give us a price action to know exactly what to do. But till then, we have to wait for price to be drawn to this level, the old low, to take out liquidity on this old low. Then maybe there will be a reaction. These are the areas we watch on US Tech, that is Nasdaq, to see exactly what price action will be. Our draw on liquidity this week would be those levels, the level 1, which is the low, the level 2, which is a gap in the daily time frame, and level 3. Does it mean price will get into these three levels at the same time? No, but these are the areas we are watching. So if we move to a lower time frame to see where are the liquidity pools price might run into before getting to this level, we have little or none in the ups as in at the upside of this chart, but then our eyes remain price might apparently open and get to this level before creating a new levels of liquidity pool to run out on. So we watch, keep our eyes on this level. Price might resume and get to this point or come back to this gap on the weekly time frame to act as a support. So our eyes is on this area to act as a support. Our eyes, no, as a resistance, sorry. Our eyes is on this area to act as a resistance. The area price might be drawn to run liquidity. Then our draw on liquidity remain on this level price to run this old daily lows or might get to this gap on this level. But as a market region, let's keep our eyes and see exactly what will happen on this level before we can say we are going back up. And or if price started to go up, let's keep our eyes on this level for price to act as a resistance and then continue to go down. This is what we are looking at on US Tech as at this week. Until we reach here, we don't have a trade. So if we move down to British Pound USD and see exactly what we have in the British Pound USD. So British pound USD starting from the weekly time frame, this is what we had as a last 2 weeks price filled this fair value gap, and then price is drawing down. What is next to price? Our draw on liquidity on British pound USD also is this old low on the weekly time frame, and if it continues, then might get to this other block on the weekly time frame. Then moving down to the daily time frame here, apparently our daily range still remains this high and this low, and where is price at this point in time? Price has moved away from the premier zone at this moment on the discount, but then we needed to maybe go a bit lower before we can think of buying. So we are watching price apparently to take out this old weekly lows, and it might get down to this other block on the weekly time frame. So if we drop on the daily time frame on this level, watching this level, this high and this low, so price apparently respected this other block on the daily time frame. Where is our draw on liquidity? So you're watching this low, which is also a low in the weekly time frame and a low in the daily time frame to be taken. Our draw on liquidity remain on this level. Then next this fair value gap, if price continue, we might get to this level, which is another block on the daily time frame. So we watch this level as price. We take out this low, we'll see the price action here and see if there'll be a pullback before the continuation to the downside. It will move to a lower time frame to see where liquidity pools lies on this level. You can see also we don't really have much here, but then we have our eyes on this level as an area where liquidity pool lies. So price might apparently open and move a little bit to the upside before going down, or open and then move downside. But our eyes are on this level to see exactly what price action will be doing. What next price could do is to resume and then create a new high, which will serve as a liquidity pool if pricing apparently run out these lows that we are watching out for. Once price resume, we want to see price taking out this low. If it's not, then we wait for price to create a new liquidity pool before continue to go down to this level that we mapped out. So our draw on liquidity remain this level, this level, this level. Apparently might get to this level, so we watch these areas to see exactly what price action will be on those levels as the market resume before we could take a trade. But then, like I said, draw on liquidity remain this area until these levels are being taken. We don't have a trade unless price created a new liquidity pool, giving us a reason to join the trade from the upside to the downside. If not, we watch this area to give us a trade to take trade to the upside. These are the areas we are watching on British pound USD, trying to keep it as simple as that. So moving next, our next pair we're going to be looking at will be that of Euro USD. So on the weekly time frame on Euro USD, we'll take out some of those lines to get a bit clearer charts. So price apparently fill also a fair value gap on the weekly time frame. What is next for us? Price is drawing on the weekly time frame. So we're expecting price to get to this level, this low on the weekly time frame. That is the area we're watching on the weekly time frame. But if we drop on the daily time frame, where are our liquidity or our draw on liquidity? We are watching this level, which is an order block on the daily time frame as the first draw on liquidity. The next draw on liquidity will be this low. If price continue to go down, that will be the next draw on liquidity. But then where our liquidity pools, where price will apparently react to before it continue to go down. If it didn't go down as the market resume on Euro USD, also where are the areas we are watching price to have a run on the upside. So we keep our eyes apparently this level. This is what we have as at last week as the market closes. We keep our eyes on this level, but if not, watch the new way to create a new highs. If pricing continue to go down, immediately a resume. But if price get to this point, watch this area as a point where price has been drawn to before we can see maybe a pullback to create a new levels on the upside. And if this level is being taken, the next level, which we've mapped out, will be the low on the weekly time frame and also a low on the daily time frame. This is the areas we are watching at both on Euro USD and British Pound and Nasdaq. Remember, allow the week to give us a clearer view of exactly what we are looking at for both Euro, British Pound, and US DEC. Remember this. These are the key liquidity level for the week where we are watching across the pairs, and we are always looking out for structure over speculation and not prediction. Let's keep our eyes on this level and see what the weeks holds for us. But draw on liquidity once again. We are watching the downside of the market to be run out first before the market will continue to go up to pull back to its areas. So thank you and have a lovely week of trading. Stay safe.